Okay, this will be an interesting one. We could make this look good, I hope. Something I found. Let's see if we can make this come up a treat. Okay, let's see what we have. It is an quick start instruction guide, shall I say, quick start instruction guide audio. I think they're headphones or something. So yeah, sheath wireless earphones. Yeah, someone left this with an empty box and I figured I'd take it, even though, I don't know why they ditched it. Most people, I don't think, like reading instructions and manuals. I don't enjoy them myself. Sometimes I just read the most important bits and, so I figured I'd souvenir them for this, make some use out of something that would otherwise be discarded. Didn't turn out too well, except this part looks nice and rainbowy. So we're just going to try again. Audio, interesting name, brand. I think it's one of those cheap and nasty sorts of brands. I don't think it's from what I've seen, where I've seen these. I'm not sure where I've seen them in maybe in a supermarket or something. Anyway, we got most of the trade name. It still looks shit house. But basically, yeah, they don't come across as a really big company. Although, big companies don't make good stuff either, as much as you'd think they would. And these are just an El Cheapo brand, but they could become big later on. But basically, yeah, everything's about making a quick profit. So yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen them in a Coles or a Woolworths or somewhere like that. I've seen them somewhere. I know that name from somewhere. That looks shit house. So audio sounds like, it just looks silly. It does, it looks silly. It's a silly spelling, audio. But the cheap and nasty shit, you've got to expect them to make dumbass names like that. Yeah, that looks interesting. Starting to break up into colours. But basically, yeah, you just get the feeling that with a name like that, it's cheap and nasty. But there's always a trade-off or whatever with cheap and nasty. Even expensive brands are not environmentally friendly, typically. So, it's not just the little players that... Yeah, it actually looks quite shit house, what I'm doing here. I don't think we're getting very far with this. Audio. I just feel like poking fun at the name. I like making fun of these sorts of names. Audio. Let's see how this turns out. Yeah, that looks a lot better. We've got more patterns happening. Maybe we could make this into something, enlarge it. Maybe we can enlarge it off to the edge. But yeah, audio is just a silly sounding name. For some reason, companies that are on the cheap like to use catchy but silly types of sounding names, which is really quite annoying. When you're talking companies like Sony and that, you sort of take them seriously. A name like Sony has more feel to it than a name like Audio. Yeah, audio sounds so stupid. It sounds really, really, how should I put it, pathetic. So, it's just a silly, gimmicky way of, yeah. I mean, the good thing about the more expensive brands is that they typically last, whereas cheap and nasty brands tend to break, and therefore there's more in waste than there are big brands. So, you're buying, at least with the big brands, you're buying something a bit better, but I'm not letting them off the hook, because they're extremely polluting. It's like all companies pretty much are not responsible for our environment. They just don't care. They just care about the money that they can earn. And they just don't have any passion or drive to make a better product. It's just not good. Silly photocopier. This photocopier is a pain in the ass. It's a piece of shit made for to be environmentally unfriendly. It's one of the words when I upload my videos to LinkedIn, you'll see me put one of the words I hashtag is environmentally unfriendly, which is true. Design for dump is another word. Environmentally unfriendly is indeed what I believe Konica Minolta is, and all photocopier companies. There's no player that's doing it right. So I just don't have any respect for the industry, the status quo. They're just a bunch of assholes that care about themselves and their money and not the planet and the human race. I just don't understand why so many rich people don't have any respect for our environment or the human race as a whole. It's really quite sad, disheartening to see that. Anyway, that looks really quite interesting. I think we've made a good use out of this instruction booklet. Yeah, that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call it quits.